Hey everybody, are you ready to dive into the world of design? Today we're keeping it really simple and fun as we create something everybody knows using plasticity. So, let's get started. When you start a new project, it's going to come in with a cube like this. Just like Blender, you know what to do, you're going to delete that straight away. So you click it and click X. All done. Now what you want to do is zoom in and let's start this. We're going to do a Poké Ball today because it's easy, you know, and there's plenty of ways to do it. So you could just come here and use a sphere, drag it out, all that. But in the beginning, you get used to drawing and that side of things. So let's escape out of that and draw a circle from the center. Hit tab to go into the dimensions. Now, most are 65 millimeters wide. So 65. And there we have that. Now, with this like is, we won't be able to do anything with that. So, what we want to do is go draw a line straight up. Then once that's clicked into place, right click to confirm. And that's all good. Now, once press T to trim and take off one side. Again, right click to confirm. Whenever you do anything, right click is always to confirm. So you want to press that. And there we have that. Now, we can either press number 3 to go to the faces, or you can simply click on that as well. And then press on the face. You don't want to extrude. What you want to do is here, revolve. And compared to Fusion 360 and other software, it's a bit different. That usually you have to just select a point that you want to revolve around and then does it. The way plasticity works, it's a little bit different. So you'd click on one point of the line and then you can click on another like that. And there we have a sphere. Now, if we hide the sphere, the drawings are still there. So you want to hide those as well. You could delete them. That's completely up to you. Now that we've got our sphere, we can go back onto solids. So you can either press 4 on the numpad or click up the top. And then with that clicked, we're going to copy that, which you can do by holding Shift and D. This will come in handy a little bit later on. So you click OK, and you want to hide that one. With the original sphere now selected, well, not selected, visible. I'm going to draw a line going all the way across the center. Again, right click confirm. You see, it's right in the middle there. If you press G, you can then move it. Move it further out so you know it's going to go exactly where you want to, because sometimes it can be a bit near with where it wants to go. Now again, front facing, and then you press C. You want to cut the sphere. You want to use that line, which, yep, already selected. So you just click OK. And that's all good. Let's hide this line. Now, let's see if we can get with that line down the side as well. Select both of these. Press F to bring up the menu. Type in redundant. Start typing it and click that. Should get rid of any unnecessary lines for you. So there we go. Right, let's take out of X-ray mode. And then now we can just hide one of these. Go into face selection mode. And then grab this top face. Pull it down by minus 1.5 5mm. Let's see if that works. Let's have a look. No, let's delete this. You have to mirror this over this line, so Alt X. You press this one here because it's closest to where your object is. See? And I go up there, and that looks fine. Now, let's bring that copy sphere back, and then select the face on that. You can see it looks a bit weird, but that's just because it's overlapping with the other two objects. And then you want to bring that in slightly. There we go. 1.8. You can already see it's starting to look like a Poké Ball. So now what we need to do is, instead of leaving it like it is, because if you do, the middle part starts here. You want to go back to solid selection, select the middle, press Q for Boolean, then you want to hold shift and click both of these other objects. Now, do not click OK straight away, otherwise you'll lose the top and bottom part of your Poké Ball. You'll click here, keep tools, and that will keep those objects. So there we go. Now we can hide those, and there you go. There's the middle. And with that done, you can now go to the front, try find the dead center. If you can't find it, then just hide. Oh, but let me get rid of that. Hide these. There you go. The center. And then let's say 20mm. So tab 20. Enter. I can bring these back, but if you rotate, you can see still in move. So what we're going to do is press G and then move that to the front. Now we've got there, so that's great. Let's go to face selection mode. Select this, bring it in. Now at the moment, it is just a separate body. So what you want to do is press W, then keep hold of shift, and then select each one of these. There we go. It's cut it out for you. And then again, you want to, you want to go to the edge selection, select whole line, instead of having to redraw the circle here. G, bring it in, but if you hold Control, it will snap to points like this. So you want it to snap to this face, and then right click to confirm. All good. But you don't want that to connect to the other bodies. We're thinking more about printability here, and if you do that, then it just won't be that great. So let's bring that out just past the center ring and before the edge of a Poké Ball. There you go. Let's click OK. Now, see, it's starting to look even more like a Poké Ball. With this, we want to start thinking a couple of steps ahead. Now, with this, if I was to print it as it is now, it just wouldn't fit. The tolerances, the way things are lined up, and with the different colors, yes, you could use multi-material, but if you don't have that, then you're better off printing it so you can designing it so you can print it in separate pieces. Now, let's do this. If you select this face here, we could start drawing on it, but then it wouldn't really work. So if you want to create a custom plane, all you have to do is select the face and then press spacebar. There we go. That was great. Now go to the center and let's draw it up around, let's say here. So 13.8. Now let's get rid of this and this. This is one. You press X to get rid of the temporary plane. No. Bring it around. And you want to bring this through. If you press Tab, it'll extrude it up both sides. Now you can see here, it's going to create an object. What we want to do is take away. So press W and select this. It'll take it away from that object. And there we go. Click OK. And that's all good. Now this circle, again, we want to bring it to the bike. So press G. Pull it back a bit. Hold Control. And snap it to the edge. There we go. And then extrude this. Bring it out. I'm going to bring it out a little bit further than you think you need to. I'll show you why in a minute. So there we go. Let's bring these back. So there we go. So as an example of what I was saying before about if you don't click on the face and then create a custom plane, this will happen. So if you do this, the circle, go to this face, drag it out. Now what we want to do is create that extra lip bit that a Poké Ball has. You've got to press this. It's going to drag the whole thing in. It's not going to drag around the circle. So what we're going to do is cancel that. But what you can do is if you've already gone past that, is select the edge and then Shift I to imprint that onto here. Click OK. Then you can hide that circle. And you can see here, it's imprinted it onto that body. Now, if you select face, select this edge, now you can pull that back and it won't be an issue. Drag that in. Let's drag this bit in, but if it's a bit too far out. There we go. And there we go. But it doesn't look great at the moment. So what you need to do is start adding some fillets and chamfers. So you want to do is go to edge selection, cut this, hold Shift, select this one as well. So these have a uniform chamfer. Line. There we go. Brilliant. What we could do is we could go around these edges. So I'll hold Shift, click, again with this one here, which is not inside. Yep. And then this one too. And then either pull out or push in, depending whether you want a fillet or a chamfer. We'll go for a small fillet on this one just to make it look a bit cleaner. And then, okay. There we go. And that is your Poké Ball. But, as I was saying before, you want to think ahead. And if you printed this as it is, you're going to get misalignment issues and all that kind of thing. So, let's make the top part disappear and all. And then on this space, let's select this, press space to create a temporary plane. And we can click and hold on the selection. It'll bring up some other options as well. What I want is a center rectangle. Again, I could just use this corner box, but you need to get used to drawing things out. So let's make a 20 by 20 square. Read that slow. And now we can come off that plane. Rotate this. And then this. Bring it up by, say, 15, somewhere around there, doesn't matter, doesn't have to be precise. And again, click tab, it's going to bring it to the bottom spot. But you can't see it at the moment because these are in the way. So click OK. And then with this and this selected, Q, it's going to bring up that. So let's press X on that part, select back on target bodies, hold shift and press slits. Now we can press tool bodies, which is the part that you want to take away from the target bodies. Press slits. And again, keep tools should already be selected because of the last point. And then click OK. Now, if we hide that square, there we go. It should have the indentation in bottom. You don't want to use a cylinder or anything like that because if you do, it could still twist. So you use a square, you always seem to be lined up. Now that the bottom portion of it's done, you can bring the top portion back. Let's give it that middle and the bottom. Bring the connecting piece back. Press this. Let's hit Q. Now, because we only selected that, we only need to do that. We don't need to go press an X on this and then or back. Now, just straight away click this. Click OK. And then give it up. There you go. It's all done. And now, with the assembly side of things, you also. But printers don't exactly print with zero tolerance. So what we will need to do is go through everywhere on this. That's going to be touching at another object and then reduce it by it can differ. But my usual rule of thumb is if it's a flat surface like this, no, not that, it was this. I'll go for minus 0.1 millimeter. If it's a sphere like this or a circle, I'll go for minus 1.5 because it brings it in from both sides. So technically, it'd only bring one side in by 0.75. But that'll still work. So let's go ahead and do that. This, that can be minus 0.15. That's that part done. And same again for this one. Minus 0.15. And then leave that, we can just knit that and that. Put this up here. Let's have a look. No. We want to bring this and this back. So now we won't need to touch this part, but we will need to touch this. Which was minus 0.1 because flat surface. So there's that. And now, see, this part, most people think, yeah, it'd be fine, but it won't. So let's make that disappear. Click this. You only need to do one side. You don't need to do both. So let's do that now. Oh, minus 0.1. Okay. That's that done. And take that away again. Minus 0.1. Done. Now, it should be all of these ready for printing. Look, see, small gap you can see, you won't see that once it actually prints it. But there's one more thing that we need to do to connect it. So let's make these parts disappear, and then let's make this top disappear. Now again, same old 0.15. Let's turn the grid off so we can see everything that we're doing. Select this face, this face, this, and just go around, select all the faces you can inside. There you go. Minus 0.1. Sort it. Now, that the bottom half's done, we can just go ahead and do that top section. There we go. Red bar disappear. Go under. Select all these faces. See, that's why you need to hold shift while you select multiple faces. Otherwise, we're just selecting big face. Select this one, this one. There we go. Again, minus 0.1. And that is all this medical printing, no? And bonus tip. With something like this, if you want to make a coffee, and then let's say make grey ball, ultra ball, keep making more, select everything here. And then again, like we made a copy of it before, Shift D, and then move one of them out of the way. And now that all those are selected, instead of getting confused which is which, we can just press Control 2, and that will make that group. We can rename that group, let's say, Poké Ball. That's how it goes. Now, let's say we want to use this now to make an ultra ball. Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's get rid of all the parts that we won't need to make that. It's only the top part I will need to edit to make that. So, you want to bring the grid back. Look from the top down, because we need to imprint, the lines onto that. So, center rectangle. Now, let's make this part. Let's do this. Let's see. So look at this one. Say about there. You can always edit it again in a minute. Now bring that top portion back, and then press G. Move out. Let's look down, see how it's looking. Yeah, it's looking alright. Let's scale this in this part, make it a little bit bigger. Now, there we go. Instead of having to redraw and do it all again, just click the line, press O for offset, bring it in, let's say 10 milliliters. So minus 10. There we go. Now, you're going to press Shift A. That's a shortcut for making a line. Bring that across. Again, right click. And then we'll Shift D on that. Move that up by 5 millimeters. There we go. Then the original line, G, move that down by 5 millimeters. So again, 10 millimeters apart. So it'll be perfect length all around. Now again, let's scale this just to make it so it overlaps on the edge. There we go. Wait, scale it a bit more. Because it needs to overlap that original shape. This is why. You press T now to trim. We can trim these. Trim this, trim this. Trim these side bits here. There you go. You have the part that you need to imprint. Now, if I had to go through and select all of these, it'd take forever. So select one, Shift, select them all, then you press J to join. Sometimes it won't do because it's overlapping. So with this, what you want to do, press T, make sure every single piece is taken off like this. Then try joining. There we go. And with all of this selected, Shift I onto the original body. And okay. Now if you hide that drawing, there you go. You have the top part of an ultra ball. Now, there are many different ways of doing this next part. You can just simply go up to the top, use that drawing to cut it down. Then that'll make this piece, it'll make all these pieces individually. But there's one trick I wanted to show you. Now, if you click on faces, click on the design, what you want to do is shift deep on that. Now, instead of creating a whole new body, it'll create a sheet. Click OK. There we go. So hide that normal body. You'll see this. It has no geometry to it, like no thickness, none of that. So what you can do now is you can click this. You press Alt T. That's for thicken. And then you'll bring that in. We can either bring it in a little bit or just all in like that or further. But you don't have to. So if you bring it in like this, again, right click, that's confirmed it. You can then hide that original sheet and then bring that body back and be separate body. Now, what you want to do though is, so there's no issues when you've taken it apart, drag the face on the outside out just a little bit. Oh, it filled that part. But right, let's do it to this part. There we go. Brought it out by 0.56. Doesn't matter how much I should bring it out, just remember the number that you bring it out by, because that'll be important to line things back up. There you go. Bring this back again. Solid selection. Q. And then remove that part. But you want to keep the actual removal tools or key tools. There we go. Now bring this back in. 0.58. There. Enter. There we go. Now, same again with this. You want to go around all the edges, bring it in by 0.1 millimeters so everything connects together properly. But let's now this disappear. There you go. Now you have the inserted part. Sometimes you'll get little overlapping parts like this, but again, easy fits. What you have to do is bring this in a little bit, bring it in on this part here, so then it's not overlapping, or you can simply just remove that part and then it all fits together anyway. So now, there we go. That is how you create a Poké Ball, and then how you create copies, and you can create further iterations of that to make different Poké Balls. There we go. Now, this was the first tutorial I've done, so any tips on how to make it better? Great. Next time, I think we're going to work on something a little better with moving parts and click lock type things, like snacking plates. So, clap you inside. See you later.